Howdo! So what's a palm chisel? Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to King Bespoke Creations. Now then, palm chisels. What are they all about then? Well, this is a set of palm chisels by a company called Narex. And I've got these because I've got lots of detailed carving to do. So these are not joinery carpentry chisels, these are carving chisels for making things look pretty. Up to now, I've always used full length chisels like these, which you can use by hand. So you can carefully push through and have two hands on and control things, or you can tap away with a knocking stick, and you can get beautiful results, and I have done all the way through. I've done any carving. But I've got a project coming up that's going to have lots of really small detailed bits of carving, and I wanted to have something that's maybe a little bit less cumbersome, and that's where palm chisel comes in. So here we have the Narex group of palm chisels. So I thought I'd get a set of these and see what happens with them. Come in a nice little box, all carefully carefuled. So we have a very small flat chisel. Notice that straight away these handles have a flat section on them so that they don't roll off your bench. Very good idea. There is a 6mm gouge, of a slightly flatter gouge that we'll use for kind of cleaning up areas more than anything else. Now these last two are where all the good stuff's going to happen. So this is a 4mm wide round chisel. Can you see that? So that's going to create some lovely effects in there. I suspect that one will be coming out a lot in particular. A V carving chisel. This is only 3mm wide. Well, you can see if we get super close up, it's got a nice V shape to it, slightly rounded over at the bottom, so it's not a super sharp point on the V, but that's not a problem. So what am I expecting straight out of the box? Well, they should be sharp to a point, pun intended. Sometimes chisels come through and they're not perfectly sharp, and that's completely natural. It takes quite a lot of time to sharpen things. This is a mid-priced set of chisels. If you go super cheap, and I've bought some super cheap chisels before, they've even still got a flat end because they haven't even been ground to a point yet. So let's see what these do straight out of the box, and then we'll sharpen them up and see if it makes any difference. So picking the chisel up straight away, it does have a definite point to it. Can you just see in some light, you can still see the scratch marks there that you can definitely see there. So that's not been polished up at all. It does have a point on it, but that's not what we'd consider to be sharp. So let's see what happens on the corner of here. So you'd use this to get into little areas and carve through. Now that still works really nicely. By the time that's been polished up, that will take no effort whatsoever to push that through there. Next one, so we've got this gentle curve on here, and if we look at that, it's got grinding marks on the bottom, but it's better towards the leading edge. Now if I rotate that, can you see that there's a real thin line of light right at the very peak? That means this isn't mega sharp, because you shouldn't be able to see light reflecting off that pointy end. Right, so let's see, just pushing this in flat, does it work? Yeah, it does, and it's not bad. Again, by the time we've sharpened that up fully, so you see it just wanted to skip a little bit there. So I'm having to push down a little bit, that's taking a little bit more effort. They feel nice in the hand. This is a slightly bigger gouge. I'm expecting the same kind of thing. Yeah, a little bit clunky. And then we've got the tight curve. That's nice. It's going in there really nicely. Good. And then lastly, the V carve. Again, the tight radius and the V carve, I would expect to cut through the wood easier anyway, just because of the shape of them. see what difference that's made, giving them a little bit of a polish. Right, instantly that's less effort to push through. Anytime you need effort to put your chisel through the wood, it means your chisel's not sharp enough. Final thoughts then. Is it worth getting some palm chisels to help with the carving? Yeah, I think it is. They're so small, it's going to be much easier to get into those little nooks and crannies with them. Still probably going to use two hands. I don't think I'd ever just go digging in with one. And at least they turned up with a decent point on them to start with. You could go straight in out the box. Giving them that extra little shine makes it easier for it to cut. So it didn't necessarily give it much better quality, but it was certainly less effort for me, which means you're not pushing as hard, you're less likely to slip and either gouge your fingers, or worse still, your wood that you're trying to create something lovely with. If you fancy grabbing yourself a set of these, I'll put a link in the description. They're all affiliate links, so anything you get from there would just help me out to run this channel. If you want more tips and tricks and little reviews of different tools like this, make sure you click the subscribe button and ring that little notification bell thingamajig. And until then, sharpen your tools, and I'll see you soon. God bless.